10. Returning from Vietnam in 1968 after the Tet Offensive and after a period of Sturm und Drang, I, Larry Lee Slott, sincerely tried to make the world a better place for all species. I was succeeding. My credentials, biography, efforts, Genemsco Inc.'s recombinant DNA constructs, the home cloning kit, and Kingston, Massachusetts rehabilitated water supply were in every respectable library in the world. When you hear what I have to say about my carbon-fixing tetrahedral pontibus bridges, however, you may think that perhaps I've been reading too many Jack and the Beanstalk episodes. Please do not let yourself be so easily betrayed. I'm not hallucinating. I have degrees in chemistry and biology with experience in physics, architecture, and civil engineering. I have written many books on this subject and constructed hundreds of models. The only reason we have not accomplished this great aspiration yet is due to a failure of will. After all that nature has invested in us, should we fail as a species, we deserve to fail. Other than the tremendous difficulties involved, I have never heard any mathematically valid scientific objections to the efficacy or plausibility of my vision. Napoleon said impossible is a word found in a fool's dictionary. If no one can prove I'm wasting my time, I will press on. It may take us many years to realize success, so why not begin now, learning to be a planetary resource, custodial, and not a cancerous plague. It's time to give back some of what we took. Nature has spent enough of her planet's life's blood on us. Don't let her investment be squandered. How will we get this new carbon-fixing tetrahedron technology going? Developing this technology will require brilliant, creative human minds. They will discover ways to grow genetically engineered supermollusks in solutions of seawater salts. After the scleroproteins form in the supermussels, we will bring them to a mold where they will be impregnated with calcium carbonates and saline. Progressively larger tetrahedrons will harden from the colloidal extruded material. Supermussels will allow us to build structures as high as necessary for water and alternative energy capture, toxic waste storage, pristine habitats for humanity and all other moribund species. When we consider the proposed political solutions, we must accept that they all presuppose, indeed require, great tyranny and even greater dying. No accepted solution today will provide for our also-rans and billions more humans. How can we continue sleeping at night believing that the moneyed elite have our interests at heart? In 1978, I conceived the idea of building an equatorial transatlantic bridge to increase habitat and ensure planetary biosustainability. It was to be the threshold to solving all the environmental woes our species has wrought on the planet and its also-rans. With it, questions of habitat, ozone depletion, water, energy, and other resource exhaustion, CO2 caused climate change, toxic waste accumulation, etc., could all disappear. In 1979, while at Michigan State University, I had the very good fortune to listen to a lecture near Giltner Hall by Buckminster Fuller. He was getting old, dying a few weeks later, but still a fascinating speaker. My dream of making the world a better place by increasing the Earth's radius added some of the engineering ideas that Bucky presented in that lecture. My dream was more structured now, as I had a lifetime of Bucky's tetrahedral thoughts to guide me. It was not enough. I still needed to find a new building material stronger than steel reinforced concrete and cheaper and less dense than lumber. Why? To increase the planet's volume without also increasing its density, which is impossible, required a new building material. The largest structure ever contemplated by the mind of man needed it. To increase habitat for all creatures was my goal, habitat necessary to house billions of people and millions of species without wreaking more havoc on the delicate earth than had already been manifested. I wanted to be the architect of heaven. At Michigan State University in 1981, I studied nitrogen fixation, how bacteria turn elemental nitrogen in ambient air into cellular protein. I looked for a microbial tool for this in the Chromobacter violaceum bacteria. In my next video, I will tell you how I got an invite to MIT's graduate program. Thank you for listening.